I want you to understand that it is not where you start that matters. That God is always going to be able to do better and brighter for you in Jesus' name. Tell the person next to you, where you are is okay for where you are going. Did you hear me? Don't despise where you are. Long story cut short, the Lord blessed my business so greatly that when it comes to customer management, leadership, the one name that anybody will call, especially in the banking sector, is Fela Durotoye and Visible Impact, which was the name that the company evolved into. And a few years ago, God started to enlarge the coast, not only to become a voice in Nigeria, but a voice across the world. One of the days when I was invited to speak in the United States at one of the largest leadership conferences, I realized that God had done me well. By every measure that anyone can use, you would say Fela has been successful. I was flying to the United States, upper class, on Virgin Atlantic, and I had to make a connecting flight between Lagos and the US through Gatwick Airport. Because I was flying upper class, we had something called priority boarding, meaning they will board people that were flying upper class first. There weren't so many of us, maybe about 20 or 25. And as we were boarding, most of the people there were Caucasians. Some people call them white. But I noticed this beautiful couple. They were like me. But the man and his wife were old. They were like 70 years old, from my estimation. They had a crown of beautiful silver hair. When I was looking at them, they looked like clean money, old money. The man carried himself so graciously. His wife was so dainty. You could tell that these ones had lived a good life. They weren't the kind of people that stole money. They were not the kind of people that cheated anybody. You could tell. And as I was looking at them, I said to God, Lord, this is the substance of what I'm hoping for. That when my wife and I are about 70 years old, I want to look like this. I want to be like this couple. But I noticed that as they got to the counter, where the lady there was only supposed to take their passport, check it with their boarding pass, confirm that it's the same name, and hand it over and say, have a nice flight. I noticed something very strange. The lady took their passports, put it aside, and told that couple to step aside, and started passing some other people. I was wondering what could be wrong with their passports. These are upper class passengers. And then finally got to my turn. And as I got there and presented my passport and my boarding pass, the lady did not even look at it. She just collected it and put it on top of the other two passports and told me to please step aside. It was at that moment I knew what I had in common with that couple. That it was the green passport that was the issue. When she finally passed everybody else, she picked up the woman's passport, brought something out of her breast pocket, and was looking into the passport. After she finished, she gave the woman back her passport, said, "Thank you, ma'am. You may please go into the plane." The woman collected it. Nice lady. She crossed. She did the same thing for the gentleman. He collected it. But you know, I didn't even know that. I wasn't going to stand for it. As she took my passport, she opened the page to the American visa, and then I knew what she was doing. She was now looking with her magnifying glass at my visa. a visa that I had used about 5 times. When she gave me back my passport, I folded my hands. And she said, "Sir, your passport." I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, sir, I'm sorry, I'm only doing my job." I said, "What is your job?" She said, "Sir, I'm checking for the authenticity of your American visa." I said, "What?" "I'm an upper-class passenger. This visa has been used, look at it, at least 4 or 5 times. What is it that you want to do with your magnifying glass that the U.S. Customs and Immigration Border Control have not been able to do?" She said, "Sir, please, I mean no offense. We have just been told that as long as it's a Nigerian passport, we must check it, regardless of who it is." The thing entered. Finally, I collected my passport humbly, and I went on the plane and I sent 2 tweets. Those tweets went viral on, I'm sure some of you may have seen it, maybe some of you too young to have seen it at that time. But the first thing that I said was, ordinary citizens of a great nation will forever be treated better than successful citizens of failed countries. I'm going to say it again. Somebody needs to hear it. Ordinary citizens of a great nation will be treated better than successful citizens of a failed country. There are poor people that come from countries that their passports are respected. And as long as that passport belongs to a great nation, that regard is accorded to that person regardless of how poor they are. And if a country is considered a pariah nation, even if you are successful, they will still treat you badly because, listen to this, and this was my second tweet, individual success in the midst of collective failure will always be despised.
Sure you enjoyed this video. Kindly subscribe to enjoy more wonderful content from this channel.